Welcome back, everybody. To catch up where we left off, we should be feeling like Chuck Norris and Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. I say Chuck Norris because we allowed boxcars to live just now for talking smack, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger because we'll be back. We're going to take care of Smart Mouths. But for now, we'll just take out our aggravation on his sisters who are tied up like the profligates that they are up here on these telephone poles or whatever. Anyway, alright, so let's go talk to this guy with the dog on his head. See what he has to say about all this.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates. It's useful that you happen by. I want you to witness the fate of the town of Nipton, to memorize every detail. And then, when you move on, I want you to teach everyone you meet the lesson that Caesar's Legion taught here. Especially any NCR troops you run across. Where to begin? That they are weak and we are strong? This much was known already. But the depths of their moral sickness, their dissolution, Nipton serves as the perfect object lesson. Nipton was a wicked place, debased and corrupt. It served all comers, so long as they paid. Profligate troops, powder gangers, men of the Legion, such as myself. The people here didn't care. It was a town of whores. For a pittance, the town agreed to lead those it had sheltered into a trap. Only when I sprang it did they realize they were caught inside it too. Yes, and herded them to the center of town. I told them their sins, the foremost being disloyalty. I told them that when legionaries are disloyal, some are punished, the others made to watch. And I announced the lottery. Each clutched his ticket, hoping it would set him free. Each did nothing, even when loved ones were dragged away to be killed. It has a stark beauty, doesn't it? I'm glad you can appreciate it. Now go, and teach them what you learned here. There will be more lessons in the days ahead.
No, I picked that to show that you can gain some Legion fame. You decide to go that route in the game. I wouldn't see why, but right. Now, and true enough, there's really shouldn't be so much, if any, gray area in justice, but these butt-raping, slaving, murdering hypocrites running around just killing people... Just, yeah, come on. I mean, seriously? And they're going to talk about justice. Well, you know, I'm going to take pleasure in killing them. So that little bit of fame I got there, I'm going to lose that real quick. Because I'm going to slaughter every single one of them that I find. Because that's the right thing to do. And so I'm going to become, anathema with the Legion, most definitely, in a very short period of time. And that's good, because they'll send their assassin squads. And I like it when they do that, because they bring me good gear for free. I don't know why they keep gifting me with their 12.7mm weapons and their thermic lances and all that other stuff that's worth anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 caps apiece, but they feel obligated to do so, and I'm more than happy to oblige. Now here, I guess this is their, what would you say, cashier for the whorehouse type deal. But there's no rooms in here, so I'm assuming the residents use their own houses as their brothels or something. I don't know. This is apparently a town of whores. I mean, that Legion buttface wasn't exactly lying. He's just, very misguided. But I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and look in this cash register here. Either they weren't running a very flourishing business, or things go cheap in Nipton. Let's put it that way. 38 caps for, that doesn't say a lot for these guys. All right. Now, I like looking through all of the houses here, most definitely, because there is lots of stuff to be found, namely food. Now, I keep in mind the trophy or the achievement for healing a certain amount of damage with food. And it's also a challenge, so even if you already have the trophy or achievement, it's worth having, because if you get hurt, you need to heal one way or the other. Food works, honestly, just as well as stim packs do on hardcore mode. They both heal over time. In fact, some food actually works better than stim packs. Some of the higher tier food like wasteland omelets and things like that. So just something to keep in mind. I like to keep a pocket full of food just because I can use it as I go. All right. Not only does it keep me from ever being hungry or starving, but it also heals. And I can kind of keep my stim packs for more emergency situations where I need a quick heal. I say quick, it still heals over time, but stim packs, you know, you get a certain amount. So if you see you're down so many hit points, you just pop that many stim packs and you're good. Tell you the truth, when you're about to go into battle, here's a little combat tip, I guess, for me. Not like I can really give tips. Anyone who's familiar with shooter games can run around and shoot stuff. It's not all that complicated. It's not rocket science. But is before going into battle, along with your meds and stuff, consider popping a couple Sunset Sarsaparillas or Nuka-Colas. Yeah, that's kind of awesome because it's a Nuka-Cola to charge into battle. You know, I think that's cool. But actually, it will heal you a little bit over time, and you'll find yourself hurt and going to take cover, and you'll see your health bar creeping back up. It also limits the damage that Cazadors do. I mean, their poison's gonna eat away at you pretty quick, but if you have that counteracted with some healing overtime effects, like say from a Nuka-Cola or something, you can counter that a little bit, slow it down some. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, now you see this, what do we have, a Mr. Gutsy prototype? I think there's a story on, it's either on this guy's computer or something that you find around here. He built this, and apparently another one of these somewhere, to impress a girl in town or something like that. But any military-style robot, whether it be a Gutsy or those other guys that run around on 3 legs with the Gatling guns and all that, what are they called? Anyway, one of these 2 models of robots, if you beat them down with it's spike knuckles, brass knuckles, and I think maybe boxing tape or something, or maybe a power fist. I don't remember. Anyway, I think it's like all unarmed weapons. Anyway, it says it on the challenge what you need to do, but you have to kill 10 robots with essentially just your hands, and it's one of the GRA challenges. So that was 1 of 10 right there, and I'll find other robots as I go. The Repcon Center is a great source for that. If you can go ahead and get the alarm sounded and get all those sentry bots. That's the word for them. Yeah, get all those sentry bots activated. They come out of all these hidden doors, and if you can steal your kills from your followers, then you could probably complete the challenge just in that one building alone. Although be careful, because 2 or 3 sentry bots on you at once on very hard can be yeah, it can end really fast. So, something to keep in mind. That's a pretty good little stash right there. I'll take all that. Sweet. Alright, like I say, these houses are definitely worth checking for locks to pick, traps to disarm, robots to kill, workbenches, weapons, just you name it. Food and more food, and a lot of alcohol too. And a lot of the fridges have like 8, 10, 12 bottles of various forms of alcohol, and that's good for strength and charisma boosts. Doesn't do crap for your intelligence, though. It makes you dumb as a rock. But, hey, if you need to sweet talk that one person into something and you're just a couple points shy on your speech check, then that'll do it. You know, like I said, that computer kind of tells the story of, you know, the guy building the robots to impress his girl. I believe it's on the computer. Anyway, not going to waste time with that. All right, so get in here. All right, I can probably get rid of a little bit of weight by breaking down some of this ammo that I'm not using, and maybe make some more ammo that I'm actually am going to use. There we go. I think I'm going to start stockpiling the 10mm from here on because although it's heavy, it's what I'll be using for sleepy time. I really don't like the 10mm pistols at all, but it'd be a lot more convenient to just have one type of ammo to cut down on weight quite a bit, because I like a 9mm pistol, then I have a 10mm SMG, then I have my sniper, which is 308 rounds, so that's 3 kinds of ammo right there. Not to mention if I want some grenades for my grenade rifle and so on and so forth and all that, that stuff really adds up fast. I would say half my weight is ammo, not armor and weapons, it's actually ammo. I think that's a really cool feature of hardcore. It's more realism that ammo actually does have weight because, well, it would, you know. You have, you know, several thousand brass casings in your pocket. That's going to weigh something. It really is. Okay, now, here in the town hall, on the first floor, notably, there's a loot room, which has a, it's not a pickable lock, you have to have a key, and the key is to be found at the front desk. But first, I'm going to clear out the dogs in here. There's Legion dogs on the first 2 floors. Quite a few of them, actually. And when they swarm you, they can tear you down pretty quick, surprisingly fast. They're a little bit worse than coyotes. Just get a little explosive damage under my belt. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, dog hides weigh nothing. So even if they were only worth just a cap apiece, they're still worth carrying because it's just free money. And this, actually, if you notice, your kill cam actually helps you a little bit in a case where you're scoped in, because it gives you time to get your reticle on the next enemy. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I'm in the, not the cinematic, but the other one. Player view, kill cam, I forget what it's called. It's in settings. Yeah, you can change your kill cam, or you can turn it off altogether. Cinematic player view? I think cinematic player view is what it's called. Anyway. Alright, so there's really nothing I've ever found of note here on the first floor, except that one key in that little bunker, and I think it's their little drug den or something. Because you'll go down there and you'll find, you know, some meds and stuff. But you'll also find a lot of food, soda machines, and I think a weapons crate and some other stuff. So it's, you know, it's worth checking out. Anyway, behind this front desk, this key will always be guarded by a landmine here, which is sometimes partly glitched into the floors, so you might want to just look at the floor until it registers and disarm it real quick. Then get down here. Like I say, maybe this is their dope den or something. I don't know. Not a very impressive town hall, if you ask me. So lots of other materials to be had. That's all good for weapon repair kits. Sweet. Healing items, first aid kit, explosives crate. Right on. Okay, I could grab that too, but I think I'm pushing that weight limit as it is. If I have a choice between a bottle of sarsaparilla and a cram, I'm going to take the sarsaparilla because it's going to heal a lot more over time. Cram gives you, what, 5 hit points over 5 seconds or something? I mean, it's actually useless. You'd have to eat literally 50 boxes of cram in combat to heal yourself if you were in the thick of it. So, anyway. All right, so we get these dogs out of the way, and up here on the second floor, the only notable thing I know of is it's a merchant, traveling merchant, or caravan merchant, or prospect, or whatever you want to call. Some kind of salesperson that you can loot their inventory, essentially. Don't know why the Legion wasn't interested in all their stuff, but this is usually a good source of a 10mm submachine gun. 9 out of 10 times, that's what this person will have. And lo and behold, there we go. Not to mention whatever else they are wearing and carrying. So we'll relieve them of all that stuff. They won't be needing it anymore. Poor merchants. Merchants really get the crap end of the stick in New Vegas. Alright, so get up here on the third floor, and there's no more enemies. This is just loot time, okay? There's some locks to pick and all kinds of good stuff up here. Plenty of food, alcohol, that type of stuff. If you're wondering why I chose to pop a whiskey to raise my strength instead of just eating some cram or something and dropping my weight down, is keeping in mind the challenges for using an addictive substance, getting addicted, and all that stuff. You know, I'm creeping towards those challenges also, so I'll use those when I think about them. Honestly, whether I really need to or not, it's just a matter of completing those challenges over time. You know, as I go, and eventually those challenges will pop up and they'll be done and under my belt, and, you know, it'll all come naturally in gameplay. And there's always also the method of just, I mean, you could do this at Goodsprings essentially is just to find as much whiskey and mentats and buff out and whatever else you can find, and just sit there and pop it all until you become addicted. Go to the dock, get cured, pop some more until you get addicted, and you could essentially farm those challenges, if that's what you want to call it, as early in the game as you want, as long as you have the materials to do it, as long as you can find enough, you know, whiskey, moonshine, buff out, whatever it takes. But yeah, I like to keep the role-playing element in it too, you know, just go around and naturally, as I go, just try to remember to do that stuff, and the challenges pop up on their own. It's not something I have to really, you know, sweat about. Just do these things as I think about them. Okay, now we activated the handshake in that house in town. I'm assuming that was the mayor's house. All right, so here's his computer in his office, and this gives us a background onto what the mayor was thinking when he set all this up. That he thought he was really pulling the wool over the NCR's eyes and working a deal with the powder gangers and this and that, all through some mysterious agent or something, and that, of course, being one of Kaiser's guys who were orchestrating this entire thing so they could hoard everyone together and kill them all off in one swoop. So, anyway, this is the backstory on that. Like I say, I don't know if this computer will work for you if you don't do the handshake with the computer downstairs, or I mean, in the mayor's house first. I'm not sure. But anyway, all right. So there's that. Let's get over here, and between mentats and my lockpick skill, I should be able to do average locks now. When I raise my skills, I keep in mind the magazines that I'll have on hand and the meds that I'll have on hand to buff those, so I may not need to get something to 100. I may only need to get it to like 86 or 88 or something. And later on, you can make things like party time mentats and stuff like that, and I think it raises your intelligence by like 4, which is essentially almost like reading a skill magazine. If I remember right, I think it raises your intelligence and your charisma by 4. 2 or 4, something like that. So that's 4 or 8 points towards perception for lockpicks, and also towards speech, you know, with charisma and all that stuff. Barter, things like that. So I really don't need to get your skills up to 100, except the ones that you might run with, like, you know, your weapon skills or something. And even then, most weapon skills, once you get them into the 80s, they're so effective that unless the weapon you're using requires 100, like, say, a 12.7mm submachine gun or something, yeah, you can kind of, like I say, once you hit the 80 mark, it's kind of at your leisure from that point. All right, so we can go ahead and fast travel back to Mojave and go and turn in all these quests. Now, if you remember when I was talking to the guy with the dog on his head, he had the cold, cold heart quest pop up. All I have to do is talk to the sergeant wandering around in front of the Mojave outpost, and to turn that quest in. That's all I have to do is just speak to him. Okay, I think I'm going to unload some gear before I do anything. Hey, dude, how many caps you got? Hold still while I count out your caps.
Sure, here's what I got.
Not much, huh? Alright, well, whatever. Okay, so find Sergeant Kilgore, whatever his name is. Kilborn, all right.
Something else you wanted? What? There's no way. We're miles from the Colorado. They aren't even waiting for the dam to fall. They're already inside the borders. We'll never stop them. Not at this rate. We're doomed. Thanks for bringing the word. Even if the news is bad, I'll let the men know.
Okay, so of course Caesar's whole point there was to demoralize the NCR, but one thing you don't get any NCR infamy for turning that in. You may get Legion fame, but you won't get any NCR infamy. Because if that was the case, I probably wouldn't want to do that. I am slowly gaining NCR fame as I go, from messing around at Sloan and fixing Snuffle's leg, for example. Then doing this here. There's going to be some things to do at Camp Forlorn Hope. All stuff we can do. We can be liked by the NCR before we even get to Camp McCarran in Vegas, honestly.
You check out the Nipton Town Hall yet? Smoke trail's not getting any shorter. Legion this far west? You're fucking kidding me. That's not outside the border. They're moving in, and fast. Nipton wasn't the most friendly town, but... Alright, thanks for checking on that. Wish it set my mind at ease. Now I'm more on edge than ever. In Nipton? Hell no. Town was a shithole, asking to be burned. Just not by Legion. Nobody deserves that. Well, thanks for hoofing it there and back, even if it was bad news. Wish we could spare the troops to go hunting, but orders are to stay put. Fucking Mojave's going to hell, and all I can do is sit here and watch.
All right. Notice there's a challenge just for completing quests, right? So thus the desire to complete as many quests as possible. All this stuff stacks. All right, so that little 10% XP penalty that we suffered from picking our trait at the beginning of the game is nothing. Honestly, there's so much XP to be had that it's just ridiculous. So let's go find Ranger Jackson and get accidentally resupplied and rewarded and turn this in, and then we can head on and get on with the rest of the game.
Appreciate the help. Wish I had more work for you, but nothing else on the radar at the moment. No, I mentioned you might accidentally get supplied, and I meant it. Not allowed to contract mercenaries at the outpost. Still, a requisition form or two can get lost, and they're not gonna come check. So here you go.
All right, just a note. I have a sneaking suspicion. I can't prove this, but I believe that once you do this for Ranger Jackson, more traveling merchants pop up in the environment, in the game world. All right, because now they're free to roam, so to speak. They're not chokehold here because you took care of the ants. That's just a sneaking suspicion. All right, so we will head on with the rest of the game from this point. All right, for some more New Vegas, catch up with the previous Let's Play videos. Click the top box. For all my videos, click the bottom box. And if you want to subscribe and support the channel, share with your friends and stuff, hey, hit that button right there over my head. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.